Welcome to Fewer Things Better. This is the place for all of us who are big on goals and short on time. Together, we'll explore smart, simple ideas on how to retrain your brain and unlock your life. I'm your host, Kristin Graham. Let's get started. I was talking with a friend the other day, and she said, I was out every day last week peopling, and I am so out of practice. And I laughed because same. Even as a self-proclaimed professional extrovert, I have days where I'm ready to connect and days where I just want to be in full solo mode, like camera off, doors shut. And I think a lot of us can relate to that push and pull, craving connection, but not always having the energy to show up for it. And here's what's important to note. This isn't just a personality or energy thing. There's real biology behind it. The bottom line on top of this episode is to pay attention to who gets your attention. Because good company is like good food. Some of it nourishes you. Some of it turns out to be just empty calories. And your brain knows the difference, even when you don't. So let's take a look at what's actually happening in your brain and body during connection. When you have a real shared interaction with someone, even if it's something small, your brain doesn't just register it once. It lights up across multiple systems. Your reward circuitry, your emotional regulation centers, and something called the default mode network. That's the part of the brain involved in understanding other people, their thoughts, their feelings, their intentions. That's full engagement. And it has a lasting effect that a quick dopamine hit from scrolling just doesn't replicate. Content consumption online is not the same as connection. Your brain can process content all day long, but it craves connection from real people. And that's the second thing worth knowing here. Social atrophy is real, especially in the last few years. Just like a physical muscle, your social circuitry can get rusty and dusty when it's underused. The natural neural pathways involved in reading a room, picking up on cues, feeling at ease with people, it's similar to use it or lose it. So if you've been spending a lot of time solo, re-engaging can feel like more effort than it used to. And not because something's wrong with you, because you're literally warming up a muscle that hasn't been fully used in a while. And here's something that might be useful. Social psychology research shows that we're bad at predicting how much we will enjoy being with people. That definitely rings true. When we tend to think that it's going to drain us, or we think that we're not going to have the energy, it turns out more often than not that we end up being glad that we had the interaction. It's kind of like after a workout. Not only are you proud of yourself, you've got happy hormones flowing to boot. And that gap between the anticipation and the actual experience, that's not weakness. That's your brain running on an outdated model. So the resistance you feel before something social isn't always a signal to stay home. Sometimes it's just the starting friction of the muscles that need to get warmed up. And connection doesn't have to be like running a marathon. It doesn't have to be a big lift. It can be a quick exchange at a coffee shop, banter, even online, a shared laugh, even eye contact. I hear that's still a thing. Small moments count. and your brain responds to all of it. So here's your nudge forward. The next time you feel that social resistance, just acknowledge it. Don't automatically act on it. Give yourself the space to say, am I not ready for this? Or am I just out of practice? And if it's the latter, start small. Send a text to someone you've been meaning to check in with. Say yes to something that you might normally pass on, or find a regular place where you can show up just as you are. You don't have to overpeople yourself. Just find opportunities to keep your social skill set warmed up. And in the days ahead, pay attention to where you feel a little more like yourself, and to the people and places that give you energy, not just take it. Choose a little more of what fuels you and offer some of that to others too. After all, we're in this exercise together. For more Fewer Things Better, find us over on YouTube or join our newsletter at unlockthebrain.com/newsletter. See you next time.